Tonight in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the journey continues for two of the world's most famous prize fighters. One knocked violently from his championship perch, the other holding on to a lofty position among the sport's elite. Two warriors who recently have met with opposite ends of this sport's cruel battering ram.
Air business tonight. Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson. Brilliant stuff from Nelson Taylor. Chavez on the verge of going down. Two fighters who in their last ring appearances decided matters with crisp right hands. But for the heavyweight, it came in round one. While for the junior welterweight, the climax waited until 2 seconds before the final bell. Tonight in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Julio Ceasar Chavez and Mike Tyson live on HBO.
Center of the ring, takes another right hander, now tries to fight off the ropes. Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
And right now, we are live as Trump Plaza plays host from the Convention Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And HBO Sports presents World Championship Boxing. In our first fight, two-belt junior welterweight champion Julio Ceasar Chavez defends his title against #1 contender Kyung of Korea. The bout is scheduled for 12 rounds. And then in the main event, former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson takes on Alex Stewart. That fight scheduled for 10 rounds. The Atlantic City Convention Center, the expansive indoor arena which has been the site in the past of two of Mike Tyson's most memorable and explosive knockouts. In the summer of 1988, Michael Spinks went down in 91 seconds. A little more than a year later, Carl "The Truth" Williams was knocked out in 93 seconds. Now the former champion returns, and as a swirl of backroom politics drove his sport into another bizarre chapter in its history, we take you to this 20-foot square ring. The only place where prize fights are won and lost. Tonight, Mike Tyson and a potentially tough opponent in Alex Stewart take matters into their own hands. And hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley. We welcome you back on HBO to the continuation of Mike Tyson's quest to regain the heavyweight championship he lost in February of this year to Buster Douglas in Tokyo. Working with me, as always, is HBO's boxing analyst, Larry Merchant, the noted sports journalist. And Larry, since his loss in Tokyo and his victory over Henry Tillman, Mike Tyson has had to endure the sight of watching the man who took his title away not just beaten, but thoroughly humiliated by the new champion, Evander Holyfield. What effect, if any, do you think that has on Tyson?
Well, practically the effect is he's going to have to wait at least 6 months longer to get a shot at the title, which has him seriously aggravated, and who knows what that'll lead to by next September or October. What I'm curious about is whether the swoon that Buster Douglas took in that fight somehow diminishes Tyson even further with his fans. It shouldn't, because he didn't lose to that Buster Douglas. He lost to the Buster Douglas who got in shape and was highly motivated. He lost to Mr. Hyde, not Dr. Jekyll.
What's at stake now for Mike tonight in a fight that almost everyone expects him to win easily against Alex Stewart?
Well, I think what's at stake here is for him to start to try to restore his sense of invulnerability and invincibility, which Douglas just demolished in Tokyo. And to do it against a young, strong heavyweight who was considered a legitimate opponent or perhaps a legitimate victim. Alex Stewart's mission is to try to exploit that new sense of vulnerability that people see in Tyson. That's what makes a fight.
So indeed, in our main event later this evening, we'll continue to chronicle the Tyson career as we have for the past 4 years. But first, you're going to get another look here on HBO at the man regarded by many as pound for pound the #1 fighter in the sport. Two-belt 140-pound champion Julio Ceasar Chavez. And had it not been for Douglas's memorable upset of Tyson in February, surely the most talked about fight in 1990 would have been the March epic battle between Chavez and Meldrick Taylor. Here now, a look back at the sweet science of that unforgettable fight, with narration lifted from the words of the incomparable boxing scribe A.J. Liebling.
The Sweet Science by A.J. Liebling. The sweet science is joined onto the past, like a man's arm to his shoulder. There's something about the approach of a good fight that renders the spirit insensitive to annoyance. Some champions are more skillful than others, and every now and then, one comes along who feels he can beat the title holder in the class above him.
He is the current IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Meldrick Taylor. He is the WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Julio Ceasar Chavez.
I'm so excited I could watch these guys fight for 3 straight days. See the right hand until he's dropping.
Yep, and Chavez is throwing over the top of Taylor now, beginning to land with more consistency. Right hand leads, doing the damage for Chavez now. A solid left inside.
Hitting at such short range, the boxer leaves a correspondingly brief opening. The trick is to take the initiative by anticipating the opening, or by moving the other fellow off balance. Having done that, one fighter sometimes can land a whole series of blows before the other breaks into the rhythm.
It's incumbent on Taylor not to give Chavez an unnecessary chance to get back into this. Look at the speed of Meldrick Taylor's flurry. He's carried out George Benton's game plan to perfection.
Whoa,
Trading punches inside, and Chavez again seems to wobble slightly as Taylor lands at will. Brilliant stuff from Meldrick Taylor. Chavez on the verge of going down.
He's going to defend it. He needed now.
No, the fight is hanging on this round here, Mel.
This is okay, champ. This is the last and final round. Man told you.
No, nobody called you.
Man told you. Now, you want to be champion of the world?
The fighter must be confirmed in the belief that he can lick anybody in the world, and at the same time be restrained from testing this belief on a subject too advanced for his attainments.
Julio Ceasar Chavez must begin to contemplate the reality that he's got 3 minutes in which to produce an unlikely knockout, or he will see his streak end before thousands of his countrymen.
The punch was the antithesis of a roundhouse. It was a model of pugilistic concision. No referee should take it upon himself to gamble on a man's recuperation.